Wisdom and Instruction Concerning Women. The Maxims of Methuselah Part 1. Chapter 1. These are the teachings of Methuselah, the son of Enoch, aimed at understanding wisdom and knowledge concerning women. They provide insight into the qualities of the women he chooses. The maxims aim to impart cleverness to the naive and knowledge and discretion to young men in their relationships. Understanding and respecting women is the beginning of wisdom, but fools disregard experience and guidance. Listen to the advice of your great-grandfather and do not abandon the principles of those who lead a safe and focused life, unswayed by women's ways. By doing so, you will gain insight and admiration from women. Your life will be filled with joy. When you pursue a woman, she will willingly welcome you, and you will not stumble in your endeavors. I have lived for 969 years and encountered many women. I advise you not to introduce your female acquaintances to one another. Keep your romantic interests separate, as their jealousy can spark conflicts, leading to bitter arguments when your actions become known. To a woman, all other women are competitors, but men can be allies to one another. Be cautious in making personal remarks to women, as they may misinterpret or repeat them for many years to come. Never forget to compliment her on her new clothing, but also remember to appreciate the attire she wore when you first met her. Do not disclose your past romantic experiences to a woman, as she might share hers with you as well. Allow a young woman to have her way and do not oppose her desires. However, if you rob her of material possessions, she will still find contentment in your glory. If you wish to get to know a young woman, confide in her and share a secret with her immediately. This way, when she sees your photograph, she will smile and have deep, unspoken thoughts. Chapter 2. The Patriarch speaks of his extensive experience with women. He speaks about young love and advises teaching sons to respect older women in their first romantic encounters. They can learn from older women without getting entangled in relationships. If a young man falls for an immature girl, let him spend enough time with her until he becomes weary of her ways and gains discernment. If he pursues a doll-like, superficial girl, allow him to be in her company frequently, and she will teach him about women without complicating matters. Men often act foolishly without reason, but women seldom do anything without purpose. Observe her actions to understand her behavior. Do not bother explaining machinery or discussing politics with her. Her curiosity revolves around love. She writes for magazines and composes verses, but she mainly focuses on love matters. Although she writes a lot, she only publishes her own and her friends' affairs in the magazines. Imagination is not her forte. She exposes her innermost thoughts by simply placing her hand on her heart. My son, some women may come to you and advise against heeding the words of your great-grandfather, claiming he is senile and mocks women without understanding us. They might argue that the same can be said about men as well. However, you will then realize that these women lack a sense of humor. They are foolish and lack insight, so it's best not to engage in deep discussions with them. Instead, be patient, praise their appearance, and flatter them. A woman without humor is bothersome, akin to wet velvet or a mouse nibbling in the night. She is like a cigar with a torn wrapper and a leak, impossible to mend. Let me tell you, it is easier to find a pet fly in a butcher's shop than a woman who can sharpen a pencil, meaning it's hard to find a woman with practical skills. Beware of women who drain your emotional energy, leaving you weary. They will listen to all your secrets but reveal nothing about themselves. They accept your gifts without reciprocation and won't reward your efforts, even if you write poems for them. Be cautious of women who don't sign their names to letters. They may have a hidden past. Seek and court a woman who communicates through ciphers and symbols, using secret names only known to you. She is clever and deserves your attention. Physical appearance matters. Curly locks and a good figure are valuable attributes. It's better to have a simple dinner where you can hear your own thoughts than attending a loud banquet with fancy food and music, where her words get lost in the noise. Moreover, it is not good for men to witness her blushing, as it may indicate her embarrassment or vulnerability, which should be respected. Furthermore, anyone who displays her in public for the purpose of showing her off or boasting commits a wrongdoing. A rebuke affects a woman of intelligence more deeply than 100 compliments impact a foolish person. A proud woman can handle a slight offense, but how can anyone bear a criticism about her physical appearance, like a crooked nose? Flirtations may end abruptly, like the last gasp of a siphon, but true love ends more painfully, like the bitter drops from a Chianti flask. Chapter 3. The vanity of men and how women work them. Beware of the cunning ways of women and control your vanity, as that's how she can destroy you. She will use your own words against you to bring you down. I've observed her tactics in cozy corners, where she skillfully makes a man talk about himself for an hour until he believes he's the best ever. Then, she takes advantage of his vulnerability, and he becomes ready to do her bidding, as she manipulates him. He will share his deepest thoughts and everything his rivals have said about her. Her concealed laughter will delight in her cunning success. He will shower her with gifts like flowers, precious treats, gloves, fine gold pins, theater tickets, and pay for her cab rides. Her ways are pleasant, as she treats men like children, nourishing their pride, leading to their chests puffing up in self-importance. However, a silent man frightens her, and she is astonished by his restraint. She stumbles in trying to manipulate him, and her usual tactics won't work. I knew a man from the city of Enoch who married a difficult woman. She was a shrew and complained incessantly, but he managed to subdue her. She kept on railing with grievous complaints, expressing her loneliness and frustration, waiting for him to come home late. And he replied, "Yes, ma'am." Her anger was futile against him, and peace was restored in his house. My son, follow the law and exercise caution. When you invite a young woman, have her chaperone present so that you can flirt with her without fear. If you have visited her on 3 Thursdays, be cautious and avoid the 4th. Instead, make your call on Tuesday to keep her from assuming she knows all your routines. Don't bore her with predictability. Let her anticipate your visits always. Don't let her brag to her sister, "I have him under my control." Have you given the first kiss to a maiden? Write to her the next day before she gives you harsh words. Apologize, comfort her, and lessen her remorse. Offer an excuse for her behavior. Prevent her from saying, "I spent the night in tears, thinking about my shame. Sleep wouldn't come to me, and I wondered what you thought of me. I am greatly sorrowful for my indiscretion." Chapter 4. Young maidens are easily fascinated by secrets, uncertain whether to share or keep them hidden, yet they can't forget them. Just as catnip pleases a kitten, reading her palm brings joy to a young woman. Predicting her future pleases her vanity. She seeks out sorcerers and fortune-tellers, and though she may not fully believe, she still finds wonder in their words and shares the marvels with others. There was a maiden who said things that I didn't fully comprehend as she left her sentences unfinished. I held my tongue and refrained from questioning, thus displaying wisdom. If someone accidentally spills ice cream on her dress, they will be forgiven. However, anyone who brings up her indiscretions from the previous night will be looked down upon. It's better to have 2 left-hand gloves than to be seen in public with the wrong woman under the moonlight. A woman alone by the seashore is like a hat without a hat pin. She invites wild thoughts. A woman who repeatedly questions why you want to kiss her is like a cushion shedding its feathers or a molting dog that jumps on you. Being a widow for 2 years is harder than getting a college education, and a woman without brothers faces challenges. A teasing woman is as annoying as a squeaking shoe or walking on spilt sugar. A wise woman senses trouble ahead and avoids conflicts, but a foolish girl exclaims, "Don't I?" A good woman would rather be the mother of a genius than the wife of a hero. Men don't overpower women with strength, it's their persistence and determination that win them over in the end. With time, any man can win any woman. When a woman claims something is insignificant, but once the man leaves, she hurries to the mirror and rejoices in her beauty. Observe a woman in love, she begins to reveal herself, not hiding her good points. Even if she is innocent, she dresses alluringly to her advantage, showcasing her beauty. She wears revealing clothing, like a thin shirtwaist with pink ribbons peeking beneath, and invites him to bathe at the seashore. However, when she appears with her hair braided, the plaits falling down her back, and a blue ribbon binding it, she is at her most attractive and alluring, and the situation becomes dangerous. Chapter 5. My son, refrain from saying to a woman, "Beloved, why do I not love you? Why do I feel indifferent? For you are attractive, with captivating eyes and intelligence, deserving of admiration, but my heart remains cold, and I cannot love you." Such words will distress her soul, and bitter thoughts will haunt her. 2 things will trouble her thoughts. She'll wonder if you'll never love her, and she may blame herself, thinking she should have made you love her, but couldn't. Clever men pursue love similarly, using wit, honesty, and vulnerability. They confess their feelings and embrace the danger with humor. They start at the end of the flirtation, working their way backward from the inside out. They follow one rule in the game of love: neither they nor their beloved should be made ridiculous. Beware of the soft and manipulative lover, whom women avoid. He employs devious and cunning methods, hiding his tracks, whispering in the dark, and seeking obscure places. But genuine and honest lovers will always triumph over him. Many a woman may appear comfortable with public displays of affection but resist intimacy when touched privately under the table. A brave heart can win the heart of a princess, but one who uses craftiness will only get second-rate affection. A woman may find aspects of her first love in her last, but a man often compares his current love to the one before. My son, pay attention to my advice, and make an effort to understand women. Observe her when she is with another man, for her actions with him will likely be the same with you. Do not consider any woman wise until you have received a letter from her hand. However, do not love someone you have not met in person, as a woman may present herself differently on paper than in reality. You must get to know her face to truly understand her. Don't be deceived by appearances or charm, as beauty is fleeting, and favors can be misleading. Instead, praise a woman who shows willingness to mend your glove, demonstrating kindness and practical care. Before pursuing her romantically, meet her mother, as time can change a person significantly over the years.